Hello people, hello resellers. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jeff and you have reached Hayfro Sells. Hayfro didn't sell much of anything today, I'll tell you that. In fact, my one eBay store, my wife's eBay store, hasn't sold a thing in 2 days. 4,100 listings and it hasn't sold anything in 2 days. And I have not been doing anything different for years. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, so the last time I was making a video that was a haul, semi-haul video, what sold video, my phone straight up died. I apologize for that. Let's finish that haul right now. This was the estate sale that my wife and I went to on Sunday, and we got a bunch of stuff. This stuff came out of it. In fact, I sold something today out of that I posted on my community thread. I think it's called a community thread. It was this cat statue. Honestly, I did not think that it would sell. It ended up selling for 10 bucks, but I then was able to upsell this particular local customer on some Hello Kitty little figurines, of which I have more of. So that turned out to be a $35 sale. So I sold that today. I'll come back to the other local stuff after I finish showing you some of the other things that I picked up from this estate sale, because there is some really interesting stuff in there. Octobriana and the Russian Underground. Like, tell me that ain't super cool looking. It's a very artsy book. Let's see if I can show you something. I don't actually know what this is, but I know people ask like 100 bucks for it. Like it just has like all kinds of weird underground stuff. I knew when I saw it that it looked cool. It's not in the best shape. It kind of is a little bit like, doesn't lie completely flat, but it should sell. So yeah, it's this. Some little old scrapbook book. It's got like old advertisements in it. This is from I hate it when they put the date in Roman numerals. I don't know. It's old. I can tell you that it's old just by looking at it. I don't think it's anything special. The complete woodcuts of Albright Dürer. I don't actually know what this is. But it's got some pretty like cool old diagrams in it. I had to disqualify a few things today I was listing, and it had a little, I don't know, the smell was just, I mean, I know there are some buyers out there that will complain about any kind of smell. So if I notice it, and oftentimes I don't, I mean, I've had instances where I've sold things and I've had no issues with them, but to be honest with you, my nose is not the best sniffer. And then this is in kind of rough shape. You can see here. I don't think this is anything special. Oh, a couple other big things from there that I like. I saw this. Another piece of art. I don't know what this is. I need to do some research on this. It's kind of weird. I don't think I saw anything with Google search. This has something to do, like I did see this on Google search. I think it was like Prairie Fairies or something, but the artist that is associated with this very same picture, it didn't seem to be the name that's down here, so I was a little confused by that. So this was in a frame, but the frame was trashed. So that's something I need to look into. All right. Something that I think is really cool. I have no idea how to value this. I literally joined a group on Facebook today, like that has to do with Asian art. I just got approved like 10 minutes ago, so I posted some pictures of this. I'm hoping somebody can help me out here. This thing is heavy. It's like 25 pounds. And I'm sure the light is not going to be very good. But it was hanging on the wall. Now, I'm thinking Thai or Cambodian. I mean, my wife's Filipino, and she thinks it's Thai. But I don't know. But it's super cool. I picked this up for 20 bucks. I mean, it was kind of like, at the end of the day, we lotted a bunch of stuff together. I mean, you could say I paid $20 for this, but then got a ton of other stuff for free. Or you can say I paid 20 bucks for this and 10 bucks for some other stuff. The last of the things that I got from there was this. This is like a poster board. Now, if I Google search this image, the artist name is Lichen Wallner, I think. Now, people ask a lot of money for some posters of this particular image. I just don't know. I mean, everything that I bought from this estate sale was super old. Like, this actually almost looks like a Monty Python kind of art, which I did get some Monty Python books from this particular this particular estate sale. Okay, so that's everything from the estate sale. Most everything. There's some other owl statues that I'm in the process of listing, but nothing significant. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the video that I did last night, because I want to give an example. Like, I was thinking about this, and thank everybody who watched and commented and liked that video. That was I'm just a new YouTuber. I know my videos aren't anything exciting in terms of well, there is no editing, right? Like I am a full-time eBayer. This is just, I'm just trying to get my feet wet with YouTube. So my videos are going to be very raw. So the video that I did last night, it did get a lot of traction for me, like compared to my other videos, because I think it hit a little bit of a nerve. But I wanted to give an example, kind of like of what I mean by eBay is giving us all these tools that I think sellers are kind of I think we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. So let me give you an example. You go out picking. You find an item that's worth about $100 bucks. You go out, you list it. So let's say everyone is listing right around 100 bucks. You might list it for like $97.50 because you want to undercut your competition. So you undercut your competition, and then maybe you wait a couple days, or maybe it falls into a 10% sale. Like, I run sales all the time. I have different categories where I run sales, but I'm actually trying to streamline that whole process. So I'm not even going to talk about that. Running sales is one particular tool that you can use. Promotions, maybe you run a 10% promoted listings on that as well. So now you've discounted your item. You started it at $97.50. Maybe it falls into a 10% sale. You're running a 10% promotion, and then maybe it hasn't sold, and then you send a 10% offer out there. So that $100 item that you were so excited when you were sourcing, you're looking at like $65, and you haven't even paid taxes on that yet, right? So this is a big problem, because buyers, I believe, are starting to expect all these discounts, because I think sellers, due to the economy, and I can't blame them. Like, I can't blame sellers for doing it, but I don't know. It's really turning eBay into a buyer It's like I said, buyers are running eBay right now. Like for example, today on my store, I got an offer for $18 on an item that was $30. It was this Masonic, like the Freemasons, the Masonic. I don't even know. I don't even remember what it was. So it's not important. What's important? He offered 18. I countered at 22, and he just immediately declined it. That's fine. I'm tired of just like flat out accepting offers just to accept offers. Like I'm just, you know, I don't know. Like I do not like the idea, the concept of just continually accepting low offers on things. Like the more things you sell, it's great, but also the more things you sell, the more problems that you run into. And not only that, like if you're a seller who's content to just keep selling things for lower and lower prices and making lower margins on your items, like one of two things is likely going to happen in the long run. You're going to get burned out. You know, the more it's just more work. Like, and I don't know, like that's not really why I'm on eBay. I'm on eBay to work smarter, not harder. So, and then the other thing you'll do is you'll sell your stuff so cheap that you end up not making enough money to even cover your expenses. Now I know what somebody could say, well, you didn't sell anything today. Well, I did sell some things locally. So here are the things that I did sell. Okay, so this is how you get creative. This is a perfect example of how you can be creative when you're sourcing. So I was at this thrift store one time, and it was towards the end of the night. It was almost getting close to closing, like closing for when they were accepting donations. And these two young kids, they had this door. Now, it was dark. It was actually, I want to say back when it got dark earlier, so it must have been in like January or February, and it was this door that had this, what I thought was stained glass, and they were just getting ready to donate it. They had donated some other stuff, and I came out, and I'm like, hey, are you donating that? And they were like, yeah, and I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, do you, I was just kind of like, do you care if you give it to me? And they were like, yeah. They're like, we ended up getting it for free, so we might as well pass it on. So I sold that today for $20. So it turned out it wasn't stained glass, it was mimic stained glass. But when I listed it, had it been authentic stained glass, like I had a ton of responses, and then somebody came and looked at it and explained to me the difference, because I'm just not a handy person. Like I do not like fixing things, doing any kind of like manual labor in terms of like anything that has to do with like doing things around the house like that. So it ended up only selling for $20. I was glad that it went. I sold that cat, and I sold some Hello Kitty figurines for $35, and I sold a print, like an indigenous artist, for $25. I ended up getting like, I can't remember, I was at a thrift store and I got like 5 or 6 prints for like super cheap, for like $6 or $7. So I sold one of them for $25. And then I sold a wallet. So this sold yesterday on my store. This is just a wallet. This is from my personal, like this was a gift from a while ago that, you know, when you get past 40, you end up having like 4 or 5 wallets in your desk drawer, and you only use one of them. So sold that for $15. This was a Cool Han leather wallet. And then this sale, like these are the kinds of sales that I like. These are like some little Dragon Ball Z. There are 5 of them. They're pencil sharpeners. I had them part of a Dragon Ball Z lot. And this gentleman from China messaged me. He's like, hey, would you just sell these separately? And I'm like, well, what's your offer? So I think I had 10 little statues that were like this, but they didn't have the pencil sharpener in them. And then I had 5 of these, the 5 that I just showed you. And I had them all listed for $60. I'm like, what's your offer? And I go, and where is this shipping to? Because I noticed that his address or his location showed China. But I also know that there's a lot of people in foreign countries that have like a kind of like a PO shipping box in the States, either whether it's in Portland, California, or sometimes on the East Coast. So he's like, I'm shipping to the States. He's like, will you do 40 shipping all in? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. So these sold for, let's say, $35 and then $5 for shipping. So that sold. So that's a good sale. And you know, at the time of this video, I still got a couple hours left before the end of the day for me, before I go to bed. So I don't know if anything else is going to sell, but one more thing that I wanted to show you from that estate sale. So this is the incredible case of the Stack O' Wheat murder. This thing, it has like pictures in it. It says limited edition folio by Les Crims. So this has like pictures of like a murder scene in it. And people ask anywhere from $100 to $300 for this. But here's the kicker, is that there's like nudity. Well, there's like there's nude photos of women who are posing to be as if they were dead. So I just don't know if I can sell this on eBay. But I mean, I essentially got this for free. Like, this was actually in the free section of the things that I picked up. So I'm gonna have to contact eBay about a few things that I got there. Speaking of contacting eBay, I've got something that I want to share with you that I learned. I'm probably bumping up against time that my phone is gonna run out of space. So let me just get this out. So when somebody leaves you a neutral feedback and a negative feedback, you have the option of sending them a revision form that they can fill out and revise their feedback. So I don't know if you know this. I did not know this, and I feel that this is actually really important. It's more specific to if it's neutral feedback, because if it's negative, it can't get any worse. But if somebody gives you neutral feedback and you send them a revision request form, they can revise it positive, but they can also revise it negative. And there's nothing you can do about it unless you have a verbal agreement, unless you communicate with the buyer. Because so basically the last time when I had that neutral feedback, I had kind of sent him an email and explained to him why I feel that his feedback was unjust, and I had actually sent him the revision feedback request. Not a smart thing to do, because he could have revised it negative. He could have been like, oh, this seller is just annoying me, and there would have been nothing I could do about that. So unless you have a verbal agreement that let's say you work something out with the buyer, and he agrees that he's gonna, do not send that revision request form until you have that. Because if you do have that verbal agreement and he for some reason goes against what he says, eBay will step in and fix that. So that's kind of important, because I didn't even know that, and I've been selling for 12 years. I don't know why eBay would allow, why would anybody send a revision request to have it go against you? I don't know why they do that, but they do. One other thing, the Freemason thing that I countered an offer on and he refused. I did try to contact him after, and I do this sometimes. Sometimes I will counter an offer, and then if they decline, I will come back and I'll be like, okay, I will accept your original offer, and then I'll explain to them like how I often get a lot of lowball offers. So I feel that I do have to try to counter. And many times they just resubmit the original offer. But in this particular instance, I guess he was shopping around and he had located another similar item on Etsy. But so, do I regret sending the counter? Absolutely not, because there are so many times so many times I can't even count where I've countered, they've refused, and then that particular item actually sells higher than their original offer, like a few days, weeks, or maybe a month down the road. So even though things are super slow, like ridiculously slow, like I literally had 3 offline sales today and 1 eBay sale today. Like, that is suspicious at best, ridiculous at worst, in terms of like, why is it really just this slow, or is eBay just not sending traffic to me because I'm not actively participating in the promoted listings? I'm doing the very bare minimum. And that's a big problem in my opinion as well. I'm going to cut this video off now because I don't want it to cut off my just cut me off. So talk to you guys later. Hope your sales are doing way better than mine right now. But yeah, stay positive, keep listing, and we'll talk to you soon.